Hello everyone and welcome to Soul Ascension Tarot. My name is Whitney and I'm an intuitive tarot reader. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at what is God's current plan for your life. I hope that you find the messages that you need at this time. Please remember to only take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. Never ever force a message to resonate with you if it doesn't. At this current point in time, I'm not taking personal readings. I will announce it in a future video when I am available for future readings. So just be mindful and don't be scammed by anyone who may try to pretend to be me offering readings to you. I have 3 piles as usual. I have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Timestamps will be included in the description, and I will try to remember to add timestamps in the comments as well, because I realize that some people have a hard time finding it in the description. But yeah, if you need more time to allow your intuition time to pick a pile for you, you can go ahead and pause this video now. But if not, I will see you in the pile that you selected. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. I have here all of your cards for you. And the first card that you got is a crystal. So we're going to flip it over and see what this crystal is about, because I'm not super familiar with all the crystals out there. So it says, what it is: friend to the chronic meditator, sodalite known by some as poor man's lapis, is a salty deep blue stone speckled and strided with white calcite inclusions. Who needs it? Planners, producers, or Virgos? Where to put it? Wherever you do your best non-thinking. When to use it? When you have a big decision to make. When you're 99% finished with a project and you can't put your head around the last 1%. Don't seriously give up. Meditate with sodalite. Abandon solution-oriented thinking. Surrender to your intuition and watch your problem get solved with from someplace much deeper. And it says deepen your intuition. And I think I'm going to set this to the side because we're going to get some more messages as well. But just from off that card, I'm not really sure where to put this. But just from this card alone, I feel like maybe God's current plan for you is to get you to stop moving, get you to stop thinking, and kind of like just surrender to basically God's will at this time, or God, just, the title of this reading, to just like surrender to whatever God's current plan is in your life. And maybe instead of trying to control everything or be in the driver's seat, allow yourself to be the passenger, because I feel like maybe right now at this time you might be under a lot of stress. It may be like, I'm hearing like indecision, or not really knowing what to do or what choices to make, or you're like kind of like, I don't know, like you're maybe worried about making the wrong choice here. For some of you, like, we'll get more deeper into your reading like as we pull more cards, but this is just like what's coming through just from this card. So yeah, I feel like maybe at this time, like, the divine's plan for you is to step aside and allow them to take control and put you exactly where you need to be. I'm also hearing too, like, there's a need for you to deepen your trust and just trust in the divine's plan. So moving into your tarot cards, you guys got 5 of Swords, the Hermit, the 2 of Wands, and Strength. Okay, one of the most things that's coming through the most clearly is I'm hearing like relocation. I feel like right now at this time the divine's plan for you is to relocate you wherever you are currently. I feel like the divine is trying to move you to a different space or move you to a different position. But with that, I'm hearing that this might cause some tension between you and maybe like the people around you. For some of you, I feel like you're in an environment where I feel like the people around you, they don't want to see you elevate. They don't want to see you do better than them. And I feel like it's not like anything personal. I don't feel like they're like intentionally like wanting to keep you down, but it's like most people, it's just like a human nature type thing where like most people don't want other people to see them doing like better. Like it's an ego thing. Um, but I feel like for some of you, like I feel like the person that's also keeping you in place, or the person that's keeping you where you are currently, is also yourself. Because I'm hearing for some of you, like in order to move into this next phase of your life, you're going to have to be willing to kind of like what the sodalite card is. I feel like maybe for some of you, in order to move into this next phase of your life, you have to be willing to let go of your control, let go of your own will, especially in regards to where you're headed, because I feel like you're headed somewhere great, but you have to let go of control. You have to allow spirit to direct you. For others of you, I feel like where you're being called to let go of is like, I feel like there's something tying you to where you are currently. It could be your relationships that you have with people that's in your current environment. I'm hearing for maybe some of you, like there's something coming through about like a move. Like there's this, maybe you're feeling called to like move to a different state or a different city or somewhere, but I feel like they're like what's keeping you from making that decision, even though I feel like that decision might end up being like the best decision that you ever make for yourself. But I feel like there's like this tie to, like it could be like you're just trying to move out from like your hometown. Like there's like sentimental like value to where you've been, or it could be like maybe you're tied to like the people in that town, or yeah, it's just like I don't know, like I feel like you're probably at this time being called to like stand on your own. Or I'm also hearing too, like I'm hearing like for some of you, like you're in an environment where you kind of like depend on other people to kind of like help you make decisions. And I feel like what the divine is trying to get you to do is move into a space where where you don't have these people to like kind of lean on. And I feel like it's all like, of course, like it's like the topic of this video, it's all in like God's plan to get you away from this environment, get you away from these people, so that you can then learn to only depend on yourself and your own internal guidance system. I'm also hearing the message too to like be mindful of like how people react when you discuss like things about your future and your plans for your future. Because I feel like there's, I don't know, I just get the sense that there's people around you that might try to maybe even like scare you away from pursuing what it is that you want, or they might try to get you to stop, um like don't move away or something like that. So like again, I don't feel like it's anything like personal, it's just like out of fear. And like maybe these people are like fearful of you know, like you making the wrong choice or you getting yourself in trouble. And yeah, I'm hearing like from spirit too, like I heard this like message directly, like very clear, like we don't, like I hear like we don't move from a space of fear, like we don't move according to our fear. If we allow our fear to take control, like it's going to keep you like where you are. And I'm not saying like where you are is a bad thing, but I'm just saying like there's potential out there, there's better out there, but it's going to require that you be willing to move. I'm also hearing for some of you, like God's current plan in your life is to get you into a period of isolation. Like I don't know, maybe for some of you, like you've been noticing a lot of tension in, like I'm hearing like irritability, like I don't know, like maybe you're feeling like very irritated by the people around you, the environment that you're in. I'm feeling like I'm hearing like uncomfortable, like you're no longer feeling comfortable in certain spaces that you used to feel comfortable in. And I feel like again, it's like all in like the divine's design for you to feel the way that you're feeling. Maybe for some of you, like this isolation is, I don't know, maybe for some of you, like you're kind of currently going through some kind of spiritual awakening, because that's like the similar like feeling that I'm getting is like a lot of the times when you awaken spiritually, you kind of like go into this phase where you might isolate from yourself, and it's because and you're also realizing that like you no longer feel aligned to certain environments, certain people, certain things, certain behaviors. And yeah, I feel like, I don't know, but I'm feeling for some of you, like you do feel like that. You do feel like you're kind of like pulling away from certain things, but it's like there's still like maybe this thought in your head where it's like, I don't know, like these were big huge aspects of yourself, or you heavily identified with these things, these places and these people. And so like you're kind of like questioning, this feeling that you're having. But I'm hearing like from spirit, don't question that feeling, and instead to move more into it and just allow, like, just see where it goes. Yeah, let's see what else you guys have. I really didn't have that many cards. So you have standstill. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and read from the book, because I just feel like when I read from the book with this particular deck, it like clarifies like perfectly everything that I've been saying, but it does so like in a better way than I could ever say it. Hopefully I can read through it, because I've been having like problems reading lately, so we'll see how it goes. It says the sacred landscape wants you to know, if it feels that some areas of your life have slowed down or even come to a standstill, you are right. Something is not progressing. Even if it seems that things are flowing, look beneath the surface. Perhaps something is immovable. The first step to becoming unstuck is to acknowledge where you are. The soul loves the truth. In life, you can either say there are no weeds, or you can notice the weeds and begin pulling them out. Notice that what isn't working in your life, and then take slow, steady steps to unblock the barriers. In nature, when one is being sucked into mud, the worst thing to do is struggle. The best thing to do is slowly and carefully, one step at a time, extricate yourself. I don't know why, but when I was reading that, I felt called to kind of like talk about my first like, and well, what I would call my first initial spiritual awakening. Like if I was to like give it a specific time or date. And I remember like at a time I was kind of like involved with certain people that I considered like friends or whatever. And like I kind of was like, came to this point where I was like trying to figure out like, where do I see myself, who do I want to be, what type of life do I want to have. And I realized that the people that I was currently friends with at the time, like I was kind of like looking at them and the things that they were doing, and I was kind of like seeing, kind of like, predicting a little bit like where that would like lead them to. And I was like asking myself, like, if I go along with these people and I see like, I can kind of like see where they're kind of headed, is that where I also want to head or move towards? And the answer to that was no. And I also realized through those connections, it was really like, if I was to remain connected to them, it would be harder for me to stay aligned with my most authentic self. And like, I don't know, I feel like maybe like, I kind of like wonder like if those people feel like, thought I had like bad feelings or like bad blood between them, but it honestly wasn't that. It was just like I realized that these connections weren't in alignment with the future that I saw for myself, or like they weren't aligned with the person that I wanted to be. So I just like, it was almost like a natural like break. It wasn't even like I had to have like a hard conversation with these people. I just like naturally like spent less and less time with them, and communicated with them less and less. And I'm grateful for like the experiences that I had with them and the lessons that I learned through those connections. But I don't know, I feel like, I don't want to say I became like a better person without them, but I'm happy with who I am and basically the life that I've aligned with, like in my period, especially in my period of isolation. Because I feel like through periods of isolation, that's like when we are able to get like the most connected to our most truest authentic self, because we don't have like, our ego is no longer kind of like tied to certain people, because when we are connected to certain people, we do take on, you know, certain aspects of them. And it's through like isolation that we're able to, we don't have like parts of our souls connected to other people. It's just like us and ourselves. And that's when we're able to like really know who we are. And I feel like maybe at this point you do kind of feel like you're at a standstill and you're not moving. And again, I feel like it's kind of like spirit's way of like telling you to just like surrender to the stillness instead of like fighting against it or trying to force your own way. Kind of like listen out for the signs and move intuitively instead of like maybe like logically at this time. The next card you have is cleansing, and you got feather and black tourmaline. Black tourmaline. So yeah, I feel like at this time God's plan for you or your life at this moment is to cleanse your life. I know like with black tourmaline, I think it's like a really good crystal for like cleansing negative energy. And I feel like at this time, I feel like the divine is currently working towards cleansing the negative energy in your environment and in your life. And I feel like that's also like why you might be experiencing a lot of this standstill. And it's kind of making me think like, if I feel like it's like, of course, like the divine is like most powerful and can like do anything that they want to do. And so like in theory, like the divine could work on cleansing your life and moving you where you want to go. But I feel like right now the divine's main focus is cleansing and moving things out of your life that aren't serving you, or is maybe even having like a negative impact in your life. Because I'm kind of like seeing, you know, if you were to like move towards what it is that you want, you might have like this extra baggage or this lingering negative energy that might try to follow you where it is that you want to go. So I feel like right now at this time, the divine is really working towards cleansing out anything and everything that has to go, that isn't meant to go along with where you're headed. And then your last card is healer, shaman, and Numite, I think. And this crystal I'm not really familiar with. But yeah, I feel like maybe at this time, I feel like the divine is working on bringing more healing into your life. And since I'm not familiar with this crystal, I think the book that came with this deck, I think it does have like a little description of it. So I'll see if I can read from it. So it says, the crystal Numite, I think I'm pronouncing it right, I'm not really sure, but it says it awakens your natural healing abilities, it connects to the earth's medicines, and it also connects you deeper to your shamanic wisdom. So I feel like, again, I think I did touch on this earlier in your reading, where I felt like the energy of you kind of like having to depend on other people. And I feel like, again, like this period of isolation is kind of like putting you in a position where you have to depend on yourself, like for your healing and your, like I'm also hearing too, like you're in a period in your life where you're kind of like having to learn how to lean on yourself. I feel like maybe at this current point in time, you're like in the first time of your life, you don't have like a support system. And I think I did touch on this earlier in your reading, where I felt like you might be like considering moving to a different location, because it's kind of giving me that similar energy where like maybe there's this fear of allowing yourself to move to a different position or a different location, because you won't have the same people around you, or you won't have that same level of support. And I'm seeing like, of course you can like make your own decision, and you should, you know, do what's best for you. but I feel like it's up for you to decide if you want to continue where you feel the most safe, or do you want to move towards your dream? Do you want to move towards your soul alignment? Do you want to move towards where your soul is calling you to? And I feel like if you allow yourself to listen to your soul, I feel like the divine will give you or align everything up that you need. And I also feel that you're also going to learn all the skills that you need to carry you through. But yeah, that's all I'm seeing for you, pile number one. I really hope this message resonated with you or you were able to take something from it. I'm going to go ahead and move on to pile number two, but I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Like I said in the intro, I'm currently not taking personal readings at this time, so if you'd like to support me, my channel, and my work, you can do so by simply liking and sharing this video with anyone you think may benefit from this message. I would also appreciate it if you subscribed because I intend on uploading more videos in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a future video. Hello, pile number two, and welcome to your reading. The first card you have is a crystal, and I'm just going to read from the back of it because I'm not super familiar with all the crystals that are out there. But you have the agate crystal, and it says what it is: agate, a banded chalcedony, or is it chalcedony or chalcedony? I'm not really sure, but it says comes in many forms: elegant blue lace agate and iridescent fire agate, or R2. Each agate has its own unique vibe, but they all promote an energy of wherever you are, be there. Who needs it? Work-life balance struggles, where to put it, wherever you need more stability in your life. When to use it, when you want to get into your body. Try fire agate when too much screen time has you feeling disconnected from anything the slightest bit eco. Try the far from aptly named moss agate, which neither contains moss nor is technically an agate but can still hold it down. And then it says find your solid ground. So I feel like for you, pile number two, God's current plan for your life is to get you grounded and present with where you are currently. When I was reading your card, I kind of got the message of something that I'm currently trying to work on, because I'm someone that has to always have something playing, whether I'm cleaning or just like doing whatever around the house. Like I have to either listen to music or listen to a podcast or listen to a YouTube video. And recently I've been feeling like, I don't know, I just feel called to like stop doing those things, and instead of like listening, like zoning out and listening to a podcast while I'm like washing the dishes, to just like be present. And honestly, I thought it would be something like hard for me, because like I was like using it as like a trade-off kind of thing, where I hate washing dishes but at least I get to listen to a podcast while I'm doing it. And so now I'm in this process of just trying to be as present as possible while I'm doing these tasks. Another thing that I'm trying to do is I don't know why, but I just felt called to do it recently. And usually while I'm at work, I would like listen to, you know, podcasts and stuff like that, or I'd always have my earbuds out. And I feel like in a way it left me feeling a little bit disconnected. But I honestly feel like when I'm at work and I take my earbuds out, it feels like I'm like actually there, and I'm able to have like really not deep connections, but I feel like better connected to like my customers and stuff like that. And it's like a really nice feeling. So I don't know why, but when I was reading that, it like brought my attention to that. And I feel like maybe that's something that you guys might need to work on as well, is finding more ways to be present and actually be engaged with the environment that you're in, and maybe even the task that you're doing at whatever time. But let's go ahead and take a look at your tarot cards and see what other messages come through. So you guys got, I'm gonna try and get these like all in one spot, because I'm gonna maybe come back to that like once we see what other cards you guys have. So you have Nine of Swords, Six of Cups, a Star, and the Empress. One of the first messages that I'm hearing is, I feel like maybe at this time, I feel like for some of you, like you might be experiencing a lot of anxiety around, like at this time. I'm also hearing too, like I feel like this anxiety is like coming from whatever it is that you're trying to work on or work towards or build in your life. I feel like maybe like for some of you, like I feel like you are, I don't know, I'm hearing like you're so focused on building, or I'm hearing like some of you like you're so much in your like masculine energy right now, and I feel like you have like forgotten to appease to your inner child. I feel like you may, like you're getting so wrapped up in like all of your fears and all of your worries. And I don't know, I feel like when it comes to like your day-to-day approach to life, I feel like it's best to kind of like tap into your inner child and ask your inner child, like, what do they want? What do they need? Because I feel like one of the main messages that's coming through is, it feels like at this current point in time, your inner child feels neglected. Or I'm also hearing there's like a part of you that isn't getting what it needs to feel nourished, and I feel like as a result of that, I feel like it's having a direct impact on whatever it is that you're trying to create or build in your life. Because there's whatever this part of yourself that's not getting nourished in the way that it needs to, that is the part of yourself that is going to have the biggest impact when it comes to whatever it is that you're trying to create and build. And I'm also hearing too, like I feel like I don't know, it's kind of like similar to the energy of pile number one, where they are at a standstill, or they might be experiencing some stagnant energy. And I feel like it's kind of like the case for you guys as well. I feel, because I'm hearing the message that like the divine has kind of like put a stop or a halt to some of your manifestations coming through. Because I don't know, I feel like there's something else that your your spirit team and also the divine wants you to focus on at this time. I'm also hearing too like ground zero. So it's like, I don't know, I hear like I feel like maybe at this time, and I feel like that's connected to this gate card, because it talked about being present and being where you currently are. I feel like for some of you, like what's causing a lot of this anxiety and like worry is like coming from like you being fearful of like the future, worrying about the future, wondering, what's going to happen in the future, feeling uncertain about what's going to happen in the future. But I feel like that is why like the gate card came here, because I feel like the divine, like their current plan for you is to get present and be where you currently are, and instead of focusing on things that are going to have an impact on you in the future, they want you to ground yourself in the present and, only take note or take inventory of what's currently happening in your life and what you can and can't do about those things. And if there is something that you can do about your present situation, then of course you can do that. But if there's things that are outside of your control, I feel like your spirit team and also divine, these are things that they want you to hand over to them. I feel like I'm also hearing too with like the Empress, I feel like the divine's plan for you at this time is they want you to get to a space where you feel more comfortable asking for things, praying for things, and trusting that these things will come through and help aid you in a way. And also like with that like inner child message, like I feel like the divine kind of wants you at this time to take like a more childlike approach in your life at this time. It's making me think of how I was raised this way, and like at one point I did believe in like Santa Claus, and like my parents, they would like hide my gifts and stuff until like Christmas, and like I would just tell them, like, or they would say like make a list of everything that you want Santa to bring you. And it was like in that like childlike mind, like you would write that list and you would just know that on Christmas you would get what it is that you had on that list. And I don't know, it's something like that. So it's kind of like a similar vibe to that, like, and as we like grow up, where we become like more practical and like logical and like, I don't know. And I feel like when it comes to the things that you're currently worrying and stressing about, I feel like you just kind of like have to have like this childlike faith and like belief that things are going to work out for you, and that the divine is working side by side with you to get you where you want to go and to help you build what you want to build. And you like just know that you don't have to do it all on your own, because you're not working on your own. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what other cards you guys got. So the next card you got is truth, and I'm actually going to read from the guidebook with this card. I don't know why, I've never seen this before, but that looks like something right there. I'm not really sure what that is. Okay, let me, I am getting some messages, but I do want to read from the book. Okay, so it says, this is a powerful and important card to receive. Even when things seem parched or not fruitful, a deeper energy speaks of the power of your inner knowing. Meditate, trust those nudges from the universe. Your celestial advisors are close now. You are now open to receive some of the most important messages of your life through your intuition. Your intuition is spot on, so trust it. And even if there are some areas of your life that seem lackluster, know that other areas are being fertilized for a resplendent future. Have faith and know that there is a higher purpose. Okay, so when I was reading that, it did remind me of a message that I got for pile number 1, and that message was, if it currently feels like in your life that like things aren't moving or things are stagnant or you're not manifesting what it is that you desire, it doesn't mean that things aren't happening for you. It doesn't mean that, you know, your energy is going to waste. It doesn't mean that the divine isn't listening to you or your prayers. It just means that the divine is currently wrapped up in something else and is currently working on something else in your life. It's something that is out of your awareness and probably out of your control. And it doesn't mean that that's something bad. It's just right now, currently, the divine's focus is on something that they feel is more important than what you might be currently preoccupied by. I'm also hearing the message to be more willing and open to allowing the universe to shift you where you need to be, because I'm getting like this energy of like stubbornness, but I don't see it in like a bad way. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm hearing like you might have a tendency to become like preoccupied by something. Like once it's like it's kind of like the energy of, like, once something has your attention, like you give it all, like your all. Like for example, like if you are someone that is naturally, like, I don't want to say like a workaholic, but it's like it's kind of like when you find like something you're passionate about and like all you want to do is work towards that. Or like if you like all of a sudden feel like passion for a certain goal, and like all you want to do is do everything that you can to reach a certain goal. And that's kind of like the energy of stubbornness that I'm kind of getting, where you might have a tendency to get stuck on certain things. And I feel like that stuckness, like when you get stuck on that specific thing, that's when it like creates like this stagnant energy around you. And I feel like the divine at this time, they want you to be a little bit more open towards being moved where you need to go. Because it's kind of like, I feel like you guys might have a certain idea or a certain vision that you're trying to work on and bring to life, but I feel like it's important not to get stuck on that certain idea, or like don't be stuck on, because it's like I'm also getting, it's like the message, like I'm hearing like it's not necessarily like you've chosen the wrong destination, but it's like the way that you think that you need, like the method of getting to that destination, like you might be like stuck on a certain method, like you like this is the only way that I'm gonna get to where I want to go. And I feel like it's important for you to stay open, because there are more possibilities out there, but these are possibilities that are beyond your scope, like they're beyond your awareness. And so I feel like that's where it's required that you are able to remain open to being moved in place where you need to go. And the destination might look a little bit different than what you anticipated, but it's going to be everything that you wanted and everything that you needed. Because even though, like, that thing, like, sometimes, like, kind of like how I was talking about how, like, you might get too wrapped up and, like, get, like, you might, like, you have, like, this tendency to get, like, so preoccupied by, like, a certain thing in your life, you might end up neglecting other areas of your life. And I feel like that's kind of like what the divine is trying to get you to focus on now, is like another area of your life that needs your time, energy, focus, and devotion at this time. Like whatever it is that you're currently like focused on and preoccupied by now, I feel like that's something the divine doesn't see as very significant or important at this time. And I think I did say this earlier in your message, like where there's like this part of yourself that's being neglected, and that's the part that's going to play the biggest role in getting you where you want to go. So yeah, I feel like your like your face is in like the wrong direction, and yeah, like your I don't want to say like your methods are wrong, but it's like there's a need for you to like, there's a better way to do it than what you're currently focused on. The next card you got is Retreat, Mountain and Green Calcite. With this card, I feel like for some of you, like I feel like maybe at this time the best thing you can do is maybe like take a break and retreat. I feel like whatever you've been trying to put your energy towards, I feel like you need to maybe at this time pull your energy back so that you can get grounded and recalibrate and allow yourself to be open to being rerouted by the divine so that you are on the right path. Like I feel like with this mountain, I feel like you've chosen the right mountain, but it's like you've chosen not, I don't want to say you've chosen the wrong path, but you've like the path that you've chosen, it's going to require more out of you. It's going to require more energy out of you. And I'm kind of like seeing like, I think this is like it looks like a turtle to me, but it's like making me think of like by the end of this journey, like this turtle is going to be exhausted and not fully appreciate the journey or like the end result. Or once they finally get to where they want to be, they're going to be so exhausted because of the energy that they spent while trying to get to this goal. So I feel like for you, like you are on the right, you have the right destination, but it's just like your approach to that destination is like, it might end up like you won't be able to like fully enjoy the journey of getting to where you want to go. Like I feel like, because I'm kind of seeing like these two paths where like this feels like a more scenic path where the turtle might experience new places, experience different people, and just encounter a bunch of different things. And this path looks like it's just a straight stretch to that mountain, and you would assume that you would want to go through like the straight stretch, but I feel like the divine is calling you to go through this more like scenic route, even though there might be things that will delay you or maybe even distract you. But I feel like through this path, like there's going to be more experiences, there's going to be places for you to rest, there's going to be new things that will inspire you, and you like, I don't know, like you'll be able to like pull different things in. And I feel like that's kind of like the energy that I'm getting, where it's like even though like this path is like a very straight stretch, like you kind of like see like this very straight trajectory to like where you want to go, but it's like I just feel like by the end, like you won't be able to fully enjoy the journey, and by the time you get to where you want to go, like you'll be exhausted and you won't be able to enjoy like where what you've been wanting this whole entire time. So again, I feel like the divine just wants you to kind of like be where you currently are and just like enjoy the whole process and enjoy the whole experience, and take your time. There's no rush. Like, what it is that you're desiring, like, this mountain is not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So like, that mountain will always be there, so there's no rush to get to it. And then your last card you got is initiation, sacred site, and Venus site, I think. And I'm not really sure what a Venus site is. I'm just gonna read in like from the crystals and see what it is that they do, because I'm interested in crystals, but I don't know everything that there is to know about all the crystals out there. Like, I'm more so like of a, I do tarot cards, but I don't really, there's like different types of people that dabble in like specific things. Like, you have like your astrology people and your crystal people, and yeah, I'm just like a tarot person. But it says Venus site assists in integrating initiation. It is involved with rites of passage, and it awakens new gifts. So I don't know, like with that, I feel like kind of like what I was saying with this retreat card, where like if you take this path where there's more like experiences and different things to distract you and stuff, I feel like if you, I don't know, I feel like through taking this path, like, you might pick up on, different passions and like different interests, and yeah, like, I feel like this destination is still going to be the same, but you're going to be able to acquire new skills and new gifts that will help get you to that to the top of that mountain. I'm also hearing too with like this initiation card, like the thing that you want, the thing that you desire, the destination that you want for yourself, it's already yours. Like I was seeing with this mountain, like it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just a matter of like you having to kind of like, yeah, like you just have to like go through, or be willing to go through certain steps, or it's like a matter of like you being willing to kind of like go through like this initiation process in order to get there. I'm kind of hearing like there's no shortcut, like there's no easy way to get to where it is that you want to go. Like, it's going to require that you put energy into it. So yeah, it's just like a matter of like, I don't know why, but I'm hearing to like just enjoy the game. Like, play the game, like don't try to like cheat yourself out of the game. Like, it's making me think of like, like in certain games there's like cheats and cheat codes that you can use to kind of like help get you to the end of the game. But I personally feel like if you do that, it kind of like takes away from the experience of actually playing the game. And so yeah, I feel like that's something that the divine wants you to currently be aware of. Like, don't try to cheat your way to like the end, and instead like it's not the end of the game that's the most important. It's the whole journey, it's the whole process of it. But yeah, now I'm gonna read what is green calcite. But it says green calcite it assists in relaxation, it soothes the mind, body, and spirit, and it also nurtures the heart. So yeah, I feel like for you, I feel like the divine currently wants you at this time to focus on relaxation and rejuvenating yourself and filling your own cup. I feel like, especially if this is about you working towards a certain like monetary goal, or like a business goal or career goal, I feel like it kind of seems like maybe counterintuitive to rest and, take breaks. And you might feel like if you take a break, it's going to like keep you stuck where you are. Or if you take a break, like we believe like if we take a break, then that means we're not moving, we're not making any progress. But I feel like through you taking a break, like there's still going to be progress being made, because you have the divine working with you towards getting you to where you want to go. So I'm kind of like seeing like if you was to like take a break, let's say like, this would give the divine time to clear like a path for you. It's kind of like remove like certain obstacles and stuff like that for you. But if you was to like just continue to charge forward, like you would have more obstacles in your way, or like these obstacles, you wouldn't have as much energy that you would need to kind of like overcome these obstacles. And so like, again, at the end of your destination, at the end of your journey, you would be so exhausted you wouldn't be able to fully enjoy what it is that you've been wanting this entire time. So again, I feel like God's current plan for you is to kind of like get you to retreat a little bit. Go ahead, and I don't feel like you need to like treat yourself by like spending money and stuff on yourself, but just like taking a break, taking a step back. And I feel like through if you give yourself that opportunity to take a break and take a step back, it'll also give you the opportunity to, clear your mind, because it's making me think of how I haven't really made any like art in a really long time, but it was something that I would do when I was making art. And the most recent thing that I've done that I can think of when I did it is like when I play The Sims 4 and I'm working on a build, and sometimes I like work on a build for like hours and hours, and I'm like, I really don't like this build, but like instead of completely bulldozing the build, which I have a tendency to do, I just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna save the game, like come back to it tomorrow. And when I do, I'm like, okay, like this actually looks pretty decent. And like, because I have like a fresh new perspective, I'm able to kind of like, I don't know, look at things a little bit differently. I can like, I don't know, I come to it with like a fresh air of like creativity that I didn't have because I had been working on it for hours and hours. So it's making me think of that too. Like if you, go ahead and take some time off, like you're gonna be able to come back to wherever this path is with like a fresh new perspective, and maybe even a fresh new like strategy that's going to be more efficient for you. But that's all I'm saying for you, pawn number 2. I really hope this message resonated with you, or you were able to take something from it. I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Like I said in the intro, I'm currently not taking personal readings at this time. So if you like to support me, my work, and my channel, you can do so by simply liking and sharing this video with anyone you think may benefit from this message or any of the other messages. I would also appreciate it if you subscribe, because I do try to upload like a few times a week. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to pawn number 3, and I hope to catch you in a future reading. Hello, pawn number 3, and welcome to your reading about what is God's current plan for you in your life. I have here all of your cards, and we're just gonna go through these one by one. The first card you got is actually a crystal, and I don't know everything that there is to know about crystals. So apparently you guys picked the garnet crystal, and it says what it is. Garnets are deep pomegranate to fire red stones that have lit wrists for centuries. Garnets come in many forms like almandine, grossular, and sparsertine. I'm pretty sure I butchered all those names. But to name 3, gorgeous garnets gush with positive vibes and are the perfect sparkly accessory to any I got this attitude. Who needs it? Writers who aren't writing, painters who aren't painting, sexual beings who aren't sexing. Where to put it? Any place you want to make something, be it art, love, or a dollar bill, y'all. When to use it? When you feel like the real you is getting lost in the sometimes shallow, often materialistic priorities of a likes-driven culture. And it says, the bottom, get into your depth. So with this card, I feel like right off the bat, I feel like God's current plan for you is to step into your most authentic energy. From this card, I kind of get the sense that you guys are like fiery, bold, like fearless, creative. But with this card, I'm also getting the sense that some of you're kind of like holding yourself back, and I'm not really sure what it is or why it is that you're holding yourself back. It could just be like the belief that you have some type of limitation around you. Like I feel like, I don't know, this is kind of like a channel message that's coming through right now, but I feel like for you, like you're kind of like allowing things, or you're blaming things as to why you can't be your truest self, or why you can't express yourself. It's kind of making me think, because it does talk about like artists and writers, and it's making me think of like how, um I don't know, like for example, if you were a writer, and in order to be a writer you just have to write. You don't have to have like a number one selling book or anything like that. In order to consider yourself a writer, you have to write. So like, let's say for example, you worked all day long, and then you're like, while you're at work, you're like, okay, when I get home I'm gonna write. And then when you get home, you're like, oh man, like I'm tired, like I don't even have my computer out, or I don't have my notebook out. I have to like go find this and find that. It's kind of like in that type of energy where you're like putting obstacles that aren't really there in front of you doing what you know you need to do. It's giving me that energy of, and I've said this before in previous readings, where like there are some people who create for a living, and then there are some who live to create. And I feel like you guys are in that category of, in order to exist, in order to feel alive, you have to create. Because with this card, I am getting the sense that there's like a part of you that is like lying dormant, and it's making me think of like, I don't know, like I don't know why, but I'm kind of seeing like the image of like a placenta, and like how it's like connected to a baby, and then the mother of the baby, and like, because I don't know why that image came through, but it's making me think of like you guys are like the baby, and the placenta is whatever, like your most authentic self, or like this thing that you kind of like depend on in order to express your truest self. And it's like you're not like, there's like, I don't know, it's like maybe you're like grasping onto the cord, and for some reason, and it's like cutting you away from like your vitality and your, basically your life force. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at your tarot cards, because maybe we'll get some insight, like, or more specifics as to why it is you're not, in your most authentic energy, or like, I don't know, like doing what it is that you're here to do. So you have the World, Queen of Swords, Four of Cups, and the Hierophant. So one of the energies that I'm picking up on, oh, I don't know if you can see all the cards. One of the first things that I'm picking up on is, I feel like whatever this thing is, especially, I don't feel like it has to be anything specific. I feel like it could just be like your most authentic energy. I feel like the main thing that's coming through is, I feel like you guys have like this fear of standing out or being different, because I feel like you're afraid of, like, you're just like, I feel like you might be afraid of being perceived. Like, I don't know if there was like a situation where you like put yourself out there before, and maybe you got like negative feedback, or you didn't get the recognition that you thought you deserved, or something like that. And so I feel like because of that situation, you're now in this like space where it's like, I don't know, like you feel like keeping yourself or hiding yourself, your true self, away from the world, or keeping your true self away from being perceived is like protecting yourself. But it's making me think of like, I don't know, like what is that movie? It's kind of, I don't know if it was Inside Out, or no, it's like, I've seen like different movies. I think it's there's another example would be what is that movie called? um I don't know. It was like, but it was like about like this boy, and I know the boy's name was Miguel, and he like was playing this guitar, and he basically went to like this ancestral realm, and it was like making me think of like how, like, if their ancestors were forgotten, they would kind of like disappear and fade away. And I feel like how that relates to your message is, I feel like there's like this version of yourself that is like fading away, because you're keeping it locked away, thinking that you're preserving it or keeping it safe. But that I feel like the more you lock that true version of yourself away, it's like making your true self fade. And I don't know why, but I'm hearing like dissociation. So I feel like for a lot of you, I don't know, like I don't want to like diagnose anyone, but I'm also getting that energy too, where I don't know, I feel like if you're currently feeling lost or like misplaced, it's because of that. It's because your true self is kind of like fading away, and like you're pretending, you're wearing a mask, and that's what's creating this feeling of feeling lost and displaced. And I feel like God's current plan in your life is I'm kind of getting like this message that they're like basically coming through, and they're like enough is enough. I feel like I don't know what exactly the divine is planning on doing, but I feel like they're gonna put you in a position where you can no longer hide or pretend to be something that you're not. I don't know why, but with this Hierophant here, especially with him being in reverse, I'm getting like the strong sense that you guys are here to basically stir the pot. I don't know if it's like in regards to, because with the World card here, I am kind of getting a sense that this could be like something related to maybe your ancestral line, maybe it's related to your family. It could even I'm hearing like it just has something to do with some type of community or something you're involved in. Of course, with like the Hierophant, maybe it could do with like the church or some other type of spiritual community. But I don't know why I get the sense that like when it comes to the divine's plan for you in your life, I feel like you are here to kind of like rock the boat. And I feel like for some of you, like there's this fear of doing so. I'm also hearing like whistleblower. It's making me think of how like I don't know, like because I grew up in like the church, and then like I don't know, when you're a child, like you kind of like everything kind of like happens out of your awareness, and then like when you're an adult and like you start hearing like all the grown-up tea, and it's like how are like these people in like the positions that they're in, and they've like done all this and it doesn't make any sense. And yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it's kind of giving me that energy where it's like if someone, like it's giving me like the energy of like if someone, I don't know, like if there's like been things that have kind of like been ignored or swept under the rug, I feel like you guys are called to kind of like bring attention to that and kind of like shed light onto that. And like you got, oh, I'm hearing like you guys are like the truth seekers, and like you guys are here to basically expose the truth. And I don't know, I get this sense of like maybe like this is something that's you've been doing since you were a child, and I feel like I don't know, maybe like people didn't like that, or it wasn't perceived well, and so you kind of like maybe like stopped doing it, like you lost your voice or something like that. Because I feel like the divine is working to restore your voice again. Like I don't know if you guys have any type of like social media presence at all, but I don't know why, but I'm getting the sense also that maybe for some of you, like you retreated or you went offline because I don't know, maybe you said something online and it wasn't like perceived well, or people didn't like what you had to say, and so as a result you decided to kind of like retreat. And yeah, I'm kind of like just getting the sense that like for some of you, like your presence online or whatever type of platform you have, it's needed. If like kind of going back to that Garnet card, like if you guys are a writer or are artists or anything like that, I feel like whatever it is, I feel like you're meant to put it out into the world. I don't know why, but I'm also hearing like advocate. I don't know, like I feel like you guys, like whatever, like if you are like an artist or a writer, like whatever you're like, it's kind of making me think of like how even like without like intentionally doing it, like your art brings awareness to certain things, or it like tells it like something about it, it just spreads a very loud message. But let's go ahead and see what else you guys have. So you guys have healing chaos, and to be honest, like I've recorded pile number 1 and pile number 2 like a couple days ago, and I can't remember if I read for healing chaos or not. But for you, I'm gonna go ahead and read from. I'm pretty sure I did, but I just can't remember. So healing chaos. So it says, when you receive this card, it acknowledges potential chaos or the need for chaos as an activator for profound healing. If your life seems chaotic, know that it has an underlying energy of healing. You are being healed on all levels. You are a healer. Alternatively, if your life is calm to the point of being stagnant, this card suggests that it might be time to create a bit of chaos in your life. It will activate healing, do the unexpected, mix life up a little bit. So I don't know why, but like one of the main things that stood out to me when reading that is about being a healer. And I feel like maybe for some of you, like that is, you know, your purpose, or that is what the divine's plan for you in this lifetime is, to be a healer. And I feel like a lot of people have this misconception that a healer is like this peaceful person. They bring the peace. You know, they try to like make sure everything is calm and steady, and you know, butterflies and rainbows. But I feel like one thing that isn't talked about enough is like a healer is also someone that isn't afraid to break things in order to fix them. Like like for example, I'm kind of seeing like this example, like someone like if they like break their arm or something like that. And I feel like people kind of like have this tendency to believe like a healer is someone that just like, okay, we're just gonna leave it alone. It was like, it might be, this person might be in pain, so we're just gonna leave them alone, and like it'll like heal wrong. And I feel like a true healer is someone that isn't afraid to like take the arm, snap it back into place, even though it might cause even more pain, but they know that the pain is necessary in order to set it right. And I feel like that's kind of like the energy like you guys embody, where you, I don't know, and I feel like this is something that you've like been suppressing. Like this is something that you've been avoiding, because I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I think I did. You know, not everyone wants to deal with the things that make them uncomfortable. Most people only want to be comfortable. They're not willing to basically step into their shadow. They're not meant to. I don't know why, but I'm getting this sense of like, I don't know, I feel like you guys like are revealers. Like you guys reveal things that other people would rather keep hidden. And I feel like that's why like maybe you have like such negative feedback around your message and the things that you create and the things that you share. But I feel like it's needed. It's, I don't know why, but I'm hearing like a necessary evil, and I don't think you guys are evil, but it's like maybe in some people's stories or some people's narratives you are evil or you are the bad guy. But again, it's just like this energy of just being necessary. The next card you got was Freedom, or the Eagle, and this is the blue bar right crystal. With this card, I'm actually getting the message, because I don't know why, but I'm kind of like, I think before I read somewhere that like, I don't know, I'm a Gemini, so I like pick up information from all different types of places, but I don't know why, but I keep seeing like, I heard something about like eagles and like how they're super precise when it comes to like hunting, especially like fish and stuff. I think it's what they eat. But I keep getting like this image of a eagle kind of like dipping into the water, like being able to see things, being able to see like the fish underneath the water, and like being able to hunt it anyway. And I feel like that kind of like relates to your message, because I'm kind of like seeing you guys being able to see like the things that, you know, most people don't want to see. I also feel too with like this freedom card, it makes me feel like you guys are, I don't like saying like stuff like that, like, oh, these people are woke, these people are asleep, these people are whatever. But I feel like you guys, I don't know, it's like if you are surrounded by like a community or people who where it seems like they are under some type of spell, it's making me think of, it was a movie that just came out not too long ago on Netflix. Oh, it was called Who Cloned Tyrone, and I don't want to go too much in detail about that movie if you haven't seen it. But it was basically something kind of like that, where like only certain, like it was like most of the community, they were kind of like under this spell, like they were under, like they were basically like in the Matrix. They were like basically being controlled by the Matrix, and basically like their whole entire narrative was being basically controlled by like this upper power or like the government or whatever. And like there was only like a select few people in that community that kind of like knew the truth of it. And even though like these people knew the truth, like when they tried to reveal it to the rest of the community, because they were so deep into that like spell, or so deep into that conditioning, like no one really believed them. And that's kind of like the energy that I'm kind of getting with this card. And yeah, like it's, I don't know why, but I'm kind of, I'm getting the message like the people around you, they think they are free, they think that they have it all together, they think that they know everything, but you guys are the ones that are actually free. Because I feel like it's something to do with like some type of conditioning. It's making me think of that. Like, I don't know why, but it's making me think like you guys woke up, you guys had an awakening, like you guys realized that certain patterns and cycles weren't okay, and you guys did the work to break free or break out of them. And your last card is personal power and power animal, and it says crystal tile. Oh, and then the eagle showed up here too. That's strange. I think that's an eagle. But with this bear card, maybe you guys need to look up like the actual, like the spiritual meaning of an eagle and also the bear, because with this power animal card, like maybe there's some like significance of those animals for you in regards to the work that you're going to be doing. I feel like maybe for some of you, like this is your spirit animal or something like that, and or spirit guide. But with this bear card, I don't know why, but I'm kind of like getting the like, why is this bear here? I feel like that's kind of like how people kind of like look at you. Like I feel like they kind of like see you exploring uh or choosing like different paths, and they're like, I don't know, like it's almost like who, like this isn't like the truth, but like this is kind of like how, you know, some of the people in your environment kind of look at you. And it's kind of like they kind of look at you like, who do you think you are? Because I feel like you guys are free from certain conditionings or certain binds. Like they're currently like tied down by certain binds, but it's like you freed yourself from these, and they kind of like looking at you, even though they're the ones that's bound. And they're like, I don't know, they're like who made you like boss, or who made you like worthy of not being bound the way that they are. And I don't know, I feel like maybe for some of you, like you've maybe tried to show people the way, but for some reason like they didn't listen. And I'm also getting the message too, like when it comes to like people like that, I feel like for you, okay, so I feel like for you, like you're preaching to the wrong people, you're preaching to the wrong crowd, like your focus is on the wrong people. Like if you're speaking and you're, you know, speaking your truth, spreading the truth or what you believe to be the truth, and these people don't want to hear it and they want to stay under the powers of their conditioning, then you're meant to leave them behind. They're not meant to go with you. And I don't believe like, especially in like terms of like waking people up, I don't believe that everyone is meant to awaken. Not everyone is meant to be woke. Because I feel like for some people, like being under their conditioning, being under like the bliss of ignorance is the best thing that's for them. Like not everyone is meant to fly. Not everyone is meant to fly. Like kind of like looking at this bear and the eagle. Of course the eagle can fly, but the bear is not meant, a bear is not meant to fly. Like it would just, if it was to like hop off of this mountain right now, it would like, you know, fall down. So like you cannot take everyone with you. Like if you're this eagle and you try to like swoop down and try to grab this bear and fly off with it, it would be a detriment to both you and this bear. So I feel like it's important for you to, you know, continue to spread your message, and whoever it's meant to reach, it will reach. Whoever you're meant to awaken with your message, your writing, your art, or whatever it is that you, or however you spread your message, it will, you know, find who it's meant to find. It will attract who it's meant to attract. But yeah, I think that's all I'm seeing for you, pile number 3. I hope this message resonated with you, or you were able to take something from it. I appreciate you so much for watching and being here with me today. Like I said in the intro, I'm currently not taking personal readings, so if you'd like to support me, my work, or my channel, you can do so by simply liking and sharing this video with anyone you think may benefit from this message or any of the other messages. I would also appreciate it if you subscribe, because I do intend to upload a few times a week, and I don't want you to miss out on anything. But again, I appreciate you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.